It's 1 minute gone past 9. Good morning and thank you for joining us on today's edition of News Punch on Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin, where we bring you the trending stories across the globe. I am TOBI ADEBISI, and here are the stories we're making waves this morning. President Muhammadu Buhari has signed into law the Chartered Risk Management Institute of Nigeria Bill 2022, recently passed by the National Assembly. According to details seen by newsmen on Wednesday, the act has been given legal backing to the new defunct Risk Management Association of Nigeria, RIMAN, vesting the power to teach and regulate the practice of risk management in the institute. This act establishes the Chartered Risk Management Institute of Nigeria, charged with the responsibility to control the risk management profession and serve as a professional body for persons seeking to become chartered risk managers in Nigeria. Moving on to the education sector, the Kwara State government has warned the management of the state-owned tertiary institutions to henceforth desist from illegal recruitment of staff or be made to face the full wrath of the law. The State's Commissioner for Tertiary Education, Dr. Alabi Afiz Abolore, who gave the warning in a statement, explained that he received a report that the Kwara State Polytechnic was making a backdoor recruitment in the institution, which he said would attract sanction from the government. According to him, such recruitment should not have taken place without the prior knowledge of the ministry, meanwhile declaring the ministry would not hesitate to penalize any school authority that is caught in the act. Meanwhile, a 27-year-old man and father of 3 children, Emmanuel Sanwo-Olu, has expressed a strong desire to see the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, whom he claims to be his biological father. According to him, his mother has just told him that the Lagos Governor was his father, and making the assertions while speaking with journalists at the premises of the Delta State High Court sitting in Efurun Uwe local government area of Delta. Emmanuel claimed that his mother hails from Oleri community in the Udu local government area, maintained that his mother had told him for Sanwo-Olu before she married another man for whom she had other children. And on the foreign scene, a court in Mozambique has sentenced the son of a former president to ex-spy bosses and 8 others to years in prison for their part in a corruption scandal in which the government sought to conceal huge debts, triggering financial havoc. The 11 were found guilty and sentenced on Wednesday on charges related to a $2 billion hidden debt scandal, which saw hundreds of millions of dollars in government-backed loans disappear and crash from the southern African nation's economy. 19 individuals, including state security officials, were put on trial on charges such as money laundering, bribery, and blackmail. The remaining 8 were acquitted by the court in Maputo. And that's all we have for you on this edition of News Punch. Up next is the Diamond Breakfast Show, where we'll bring you the analysis of some of the stories. Stay with us.
Keep in touch with us from any part of the world. Log on to our website www.diamondfm.net or download our app Diamond FM on Google Play Store or Apple Store.
The major talking points in Nigeria are always on the lips of the citizens.
What's going on in this country? Look at smaller countries taking lead, and you call yourself giant of Africa. Yeah.
Nigeria don't spoil my business too much. Nigeria is too hard for us. I mean, they want to kill us. Father, not kill us for Nigeria. Oh, please, so help us beg them.
They should reduce their expenditure so that they can free enough money for social development.
I wish for a Nigeria where we elect a leader based on competency and not popularity.
On the Diamond Breakfast Show, we place the spotlight on the critical issues in the country.
Government that says they are broke can prioritize construction of an additional runway over education of the people.
How can a government, how can you hold in domain? This is intolerable. It's provocative.
Now, you see, when you look at our democratic journey, we are yet to practice genuine democratic system in Nigeria.
Join us on Mondays to Friday on the DBS from 9 to 10 a.m. The Diamond Breakfast Show, amplifying the voice of the people.
–
From the studios of Diamond 88.7 FM in Lorry, this is the Diamond Breakfast Show.
Diamond Breakfast Show, a production of our News and Current Affairs Department. And let's get into the analysis of some of the major stories from the week. And to do this with me this morning is the Kwara State Officer of Budget Tracker, a public affairs analyst and social commentator, Mr. Olanrewaju Lawal. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Yeah, good morning, Toby. Good morning to all our listeners home and abroad. It's great to be here.
It's nice to have you again.
Thank you. And compliments of the season.
I wish you the same. As you can see, everything is shining. All right, so our first topic is on the new curriculum for Nigerian institutions. The federal government promised to train university lecturers for 6 months following to ensure the proper implementation of the new curriculum for the institutions. Now, the training aims to make sure that the lecturers thoroughly adopt the strategies for the successful implementation of the new curriculum. It could be recalled that the government on Monday announced the inclusion of 4 new disciplines on media and communication studies, applied health sciences, computing and architecture to be run alongside the existing 13 disciplines in the Nigerian university system. Now, inclusion of 4 new disciplines on media and communication studies, applied health sciences, computing and architecture. Now, all of this to be run alongside what we already have. Now, can we call this a plus to our education system? Is it a plus in any way? What is the bright side to look at, and what is the bleak side to also look at?
Thank you very much. And once again, compliments of the season to all our listeners. I'm an eternal optimist. And there's an adage that says that no knowledge is lost. So if this is being added, it is an addition. Like the Yorubas will say, pardon my use of my local language, I would always revert to that. I'm more comfortable with that. What that means is, whatever you have, whatever is your possession, be it material, intellectual, economic, whichever possessions you have, once you add to it, it definitely will gladden your heart, not add sorrow. So it is a plus. The only bleak side that I see there is the duration with which they want to train these lecturers. Do we have lecturers who are professionals in this field
already?
And then, are we running a crash course for these lecturers? Are they just going to regurgitate whatever has been fed to them by the professionals who are coming in to train them? We need to, this policy needs proper thinking through before we begin to implement it, so that in the end, it does not end up in the trash bin as other policies of government that has not worked. But on the bright side is, it broadens the scope of knowledge that is attainable by students and professionals. But the shortness of the time, 6 months to train lecturers who will now go on to train or to lecture students. And from my knowledge, courses like architecture and co will take around 5 years. So you want to train lecturers to lecture students for 5 years, you want to train them in 6 months. We need to have a little rethink.
Well,
but it's a welcome development.
Well, you know, Nigerians, I feel like at this point, there's been so much disappointment that no matter how good a policy is that the government comes up with, Nigerians just have questions to ask. So there have been reactions that, there are issues on ground that should be tackled, and now we're not seeing those issues really being tackled. We're only seeing policies policies being heaped on these people. What would you say about that?
You can't blame Nigerians who tend to scrutinize every policy statement of the government because we've been taken for a ride for far too long. And it's one of the beauties of democracy. Your voice must be heard if you care enough to voice out. That's one of the beauties of democracy. It's one of the tenets of democracy. So when government comes out with a policy statement, it behoves us as a people. Whether you are an activist, you are an analyst, you are a professional, you are an illiterate, you just have to comment on it. If you want to, you are at liberty to do that, especially in your area of influence. But the caveat there is you must make informed analysis. That's why I said there are bright sides to it and there's somewhat a bleak side. The shortness, the duration, 6 months is way too small. Because even grade 2, that is for basic education, grade 2 is around 2 or 3 years. Not to talk of you then graduate to NCE and then you go for your degree and all of that. So if you want to, these courses are courses that impact the lives of people. For example, this architecture is a 5-year course. Have you seen the shape of the stadia used in Qatar? It is revolutionary. It takes a lot of creative thinking. So those who are behind such grandeur in terms of architecture, you can't train them in 6 months and then you expect them to impart the knowledge for 5 years. What they want to teach for 5 years, you want to, cram it in their brains in 6 months.
Well,
so
some are also of the opinion that it's not like they're bringing people who are not familiar with these fields at all. Probably we're just transforming a master degree holder into a doctorate. I'm just trying to paint a scenario here, not exactly what it is. That okay, since you know about this stuff already, let's just give you some more knowledge and then you go on about that. How about that? Is this something that?
Well, we'll still need to get more information from the government on how they want to go about it. Let us not preempt them. Well, let's not preempt them. But by and large, it is a plus for the education sector.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Larry. Let's make an attempt to make some explanation about these fields that, have just been introduced. Media and communication studies, applied health sciences, computing, and architecture. I would love us to make an attempt to explain them, but in a short while now, or right now, we'll go on a short break and we'll be right back. Do not forget that you can join in the conversation on WhatsApp 091 3655 6864. That's the number to chat with on WhatsApp. Just send in your messages, and when the time comes, we get to see your messages. Also, we're live on Facebook and YouTube. You can drop your chat there also, and we get to see them. It's still the DBS on Diamond 88.7 FM. We'll be right back.
The management of Jaiz Bank PLC congratulates and commemorates with the Vice Chancellor of Al-Ikma University, Ilorin, Kwara State, Professor Noah Yusuf, Board of Trustees, the new Chairman Governing Council, Al-Haja Sakinat Yusuf, the Senate, and the founder, Al-Haji Raimi Oladimeji, the Jagumolu of Igominoland, Arogundade of Lagos, and the Babaoba of Ofa Kingdom, staff and students, on a 12th convocation ceremony, which will hold on Saturday, 10th of December 2022 at the Al-Ikma University Auditorium, Ilorin. With all the best at heart from the management of Jaiz Bank PLC, we wish you a successful convocation ceremony. Congratulations to all the graduates.
Your dreams of owning a home in an organized, well laid out, secured environment with 24-hour stable electricity and portable drinking water is within your reach. Grab this once in a lifetime opportunity as Las Vegas Imperial Estate offers for sale 50 plots of land measuring 450 square meter per plot at 8 million naira. That is a massive 2 million naira off the normal rate of 10 million naira per plot. This end of the year promo lasts from November 10, 2022 to January 31st, 2023. Payments can be made in installments within these 3 months, while outright payments attract a 5% discount. Las Vegas Imperial Estate is located right behind Kwara State House of Assembly complex, overlooking the Asta Dam water. For inquiries, contact 0806 286 5734 or 0803 046 1993. Las Vegas Imperial Estate, luxury and comfort.
Diamond FM, your one-stop dial.
You're welcome back, and it's still the Diamond Breakfast Show on Diamond 88.7 FM. Before we went on that break, we were talking about the 4 new courses added to the to the curriculum for Nigerian universities. And before we went on that break, I said that I wanted us to make an attempt to explain what the 4 disciplines are about. But if you're just joining us, I have in the house Mr. Olanrewaju Lawal in the house doing the analysis of the stories with us. The 4 disciplines are media and communication studies, applied health sciences, computing, and architecture. Can you make an attempt to explain what they stand for and the values that those courses may add to our educational system?
Well, we already have what we call mass communication, both in polytechnics and universities, if I'm correct. So, what media and communication studies? That's why I said we still need to wait for more information. Media and communication studies probably will be an offshoot of mass communication. That's my opinion, because I've not read too much into that particular policy statement. It's just a statement. They've not outlined how they want to go about it.
Exactly.
For applied health sciences, we've had even the University of Ilorin here has plant biology. We used to have zoology then. I think they've broken it down to plant biology and what have you.
Yeah.
There is microbiology and all of that. So all of this, maybe it's just a new department in all of these faculties. When they come out with their plans and what the scope of the studies are, then we can make informed decisions, or we can make informed objections if there are any, and recommendations. But for computing, we've always had computer science, computer studies. What else are they bringing? Artificial intelligence? Well,
maybe.
Bring it on. Bring it on. That's why I said it's a plus. Because the world is ever evolving. Research is non-stop. There are intellectuals that have devoted their lives to constant search for new knowledge through research. And so, if we are bringing this on, it's a plus for us. For architecture, well, architecture has always been with us. So many schools are offering these courses in the country as we speak. So maybe they will have a change of name or something. Or they are developing a new syllabus entirely.
Because I was about to say that for me, while I was still studying in the university, I saw that I feel like there are areas where we should just add newness, where we should update, or especially on the course outlines, and we should change the materials that we use. I studied theater, and at some point, you would expect that in this age and time, we would begin to see modern cameras, we would begin to see modern policies. But we found out that the cameras that were in use in about 1999 were still the ones they used to teach us in 2016, 2017. So we feel like those areas should be improved on, and I feel like these things are also they exist in other departments also
Yes,
that are
definitely.
not theater related.
Yeah.
So we feel like at this point, we feel like these things should be really
Worked
looked
on.
into and worked on rather than maybe introducing. But like you said, let's keep our fingers crossed and
Let's
see
wait for more detailed information.
Yeah.
about
Now,
some of them.
something really interesting happened on Tuesday. The Congress of University Academics, CONUA, on Tuesday promised to sue the federal government over the withheld salaries of its members. Now, you would recall that a few months back, when the thing about ASU and federal government was still hot, to pay us, not pay us, the federal government was looking for a way out, and while still they considered so many options, and they came up with another congress, another body of university lecturers, and that was what birthed CONUA.
And one other one.
And one other one, I think AMDA for NAMDA, yes, NAMDA for medical people.
Okay.
So yeah, the federal government came up with CONUA, and now CONUA came up on Tuesday to say that they were going to sue the federal government over the withheld salaries of their members, stressing that the government was fully aware that its members neither called for nor participated in the said strike.
Wow.
With this development, what should we say? And what would you say, Mr. Olarewaju Lawal?
It is tragically hilarious. ASU, you see, this divide and rule tactics of the political class is new setting, to be honest. And it is straight out of the playbook. They've been using these tactics year on year. I remember during the tenure of former President Olusegun Obasanjo, he started the balkanization of the NLC. Before, the NLC was a vibrant body. President Olusegun Obasanjo started that process of dividing the NLC, breaking their ranks, and that was what gave rise to what we call the TUC today, Trade Union Congress. Before, all of them were under one umbrella. That is the Nigeria Labour Congress. Whether you're in the manufacturing sector, you're in the educational, you're in health, you're in tourism, you're in transport, irrespective of any sector of the economy or our national life that you are in, as long as you are a worker, you belong to the Nigerian Labour Congress. Now, they've balkanized it. We have the TUC. ASU is coming up now. They've balkanized ASU now. We have CONUA, we have NAMDA, whatever their names are. And I remember the Minister of Labour was gloating on TV that now they have people who are responsive to the government. And it should be the other way around. It is the government that should be responsive
to the people.
To the people. So now the servants are beginning to become the masters. Well, let's see how far the shenanigans will go, because that's what I call it. Like the Yorubas will say, I will always go back there. Passion tafi no yale, o wa lórí àjà fún ìyàwó.
And that means
whatever those who have gone on in the past, whatever has been used to chastise them is still there for whoever is going to air in the future. So for CONUA, well, it's their cup of tea, let them drink it. That's their own breakfast. Wow. Until we all as a people collectively decide to change the way we see things. ASU as a body, they came up with some reasons why they were going on strike. These CONUA members now were formerly ASU members. They said they did not participate in the strike, but they did not go to school to lecture. So were they conducting online classes? There are so many questions to be answered. And so it's just, to me, it's just a circus show off, you know. For lack of more derogatory words to use, let's just move on, because there's nothing more to say about it, honestly.
No derogatory words are needed, actually. So, like you said, let's just wait and see how this really plays out.
It's hilariously tragic.
Let's also not forget that a few weeks ago, ASU members also came out to say that they were not paid
in full. that they were trying to what's the word now? Can you borrow me the word? I've forgotten. What did the ASU president call it? He said they want to casualize them. Yeah, they want to turn them to casual workers. And as far as I know, the academic sector is different from every other workforce. They have their own peculiarities. Those in the medical line also have their own peculiarities. And until we understand, until we have leaders who understand these peculiarities, because it is amazing. We go to other countries and we see things working. And how does it work? There is a synergy between the academia and administrators. There is a synergy. Research is conducted by the academia. The implementation of the results of this research is carried out, is implemented, is pushed by the administrators through their policy statements and implementation. But here, there seems to be no synergy unless their pecuniary interests are served. And what do I mean? ASU members will work with INEC to get in politicians. That is the only synergy that is between them. And then they get their pay from it and all of that. And everybody goes home. It shouldn't be like that. We have debilitating issues that has held us back for so long in this country. The issue of power. We still cannot. Are we saying we don't have enough engineers in this country to brainstorm and see how we can solve this issue of epileptic power supply? Ever since I was born in this country till now, I'm also a father now. I grew up learning the slogan "Up NEPA." Till now, my kids also know what we call "Up NEPA."
NEPA is still up.
Because there is always interrupted power supply. There are always power outages. And we see the way it is done in other countries. Why can't we replicate it here? And one thing is pretty sure. I can wager it. If the services are there, Nigerians will pay. That is just the truth. Fine, we have some people who would like to cut corners and all of that. We are very resilient people. But once we see that, okay, this service is there. Take the case of telecommunications, for example. Once that sector was liberalized, and everybody knew that, okay, there are options for you. If you are not satisfied with the service provided by this provider, you can switch
to the next one. Yeah.
What that has taught us is there is always room for improvement. That is the biggest room in the world. Room for improvement. Why can't we apply the same to the sector, to the power sector? Why can't we apply the same thing to other sectors too?
All right, thank you so much. A lot is going on, and there's still so much to talk about. Let's go on a short break. We have a commercial break to go on, and we'll be right back. Don't forget, send in your messages on WhatsApp, and when we get back, we get to take them. Stay with us.
kò sí mọ́ àwọn ká ti sá lọ àrùnmọ́lẹ́gùn ẹ̀yìn dídùn làkúrẹ́ ìgbé wọ́n ti lọ wá bí wọ́n sí kára o lè pé bàmù rẹ̀ àtòrà dáadáa.
kókó lára ọ̀tá le. gbéra ńlẹ̀ kó dìde. kára o lè pè ń bá. àtòrà wọ̀ àtòrà pẹ̀sẹ̀ àtòrà dáadáa. kegun tó kegun náà. kára o yá gágá. ara ń ronú tẹ́lẹ̀ kò ronú mọ́. tẹ̀bá ti fi kára o lè pè ń bá ra. lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ ló ń ṣiṣẹ́ wọnú igun. tó sì ń ṣe àtúntò rẹ̀. òṣùbù yẹ̀kẹ́ fa párọ̀ tàbí fi ẹsẹ̀ dá. fi kára o lè pè ń bá wọ̀. káì ara rẹ̀ ó lè padà yakinlala. action action. ó jẹ́ àwọ̀ká àròmọ̀lẹ́gun. làkún ìgbé ara ríro tàbí ẹ̀yìn dídùn. kára o lè pè ń bá lọ́kọ̀ gbogbo wọn. agbára pọ̀ kára o lè pè ń bá. tuyi pharmaceutical industries limited àwọn tó lórúkọ tó ṣe é gbẹ́kẹ̀lé níbi ká po oògùn òyìnbó ló ṣe é. kára ó lè pè ń bá ẹ̀rọ ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ pín ìrèpàtú òpèrè ta pàtà pọ́npọ́n kára ó lè pè ń bá ó kì í síbẹ̀.
kára ó lè pè ń bá múre àtúrà dáadáa.
Christmas came early at the Diamond Park Ilorin as we present to you the Christmas Jamboree. Santa Claus is in town, and due to popular demand, our Christmas grotto will be open from 1st December 2022, with Father Christmas giving out lots of fantastic gifts to children. And there's also going to be music and lots of interesting games for all. This event is open to everyone. We therefore call on schools, churches, parents, and guardians who want to give their child a rewarding and fun-filled Christmas. Registration is currently ongoing. For inquiries or sponsorship, contact Tony on 080 26 77 3152. Come party with us at the Diamond Park, Plot 2, New Uni Road, Irewolede, Ilorin. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays!
The management of Jaiz Bank PLC congratulate and commemorate with the Vice Chancellor of Al-Hikmah University, Ilorin, Kwara State, Professor Noah Yusuf, Board of Trustees, the new Chairman Governing Council, Al-Haja Sakinat Yusuf, the Senate, and the founder, Al-Haji Raimi Oladimeji, the Jagumolu of Ibominoland, Arogundade of Lagos, and the Babaoba of Hofa Kingdom, staff and students, on our 12th convocation ceremony, which will hold on Saturday, 10th of December 2022 at the Al-Hikmah University Auditorium, Ilorin. With all the best at heart from the management of Jaiz Bank PLC, we wish you a successful convocation ceremony. Congratulations to all the graduates.
Follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Diamond887FM. Diamond FM, shining supreme.
You're welcome back, and it's still the Diamond Breakfast Show on Diamond 88.7 FM. I am Toby ADEBISI, and I still have Mr. Olarawaju Lawal in the house doing justice to the analysis of the stories we're looking at with me in the studio. Let's move straight to our second topic, which is on the attacks on Kwara State Fire Service officers. Some hoodlums at Okeagodi Alfa Yahaya area of Ilorin attacked men of the Kwara State Fire Service and seriously injured 2 fire officers. According to a statement signed by the head of Department, Media and Publicity, Kwara State Fire Service, Hassan Hakim Adekunle, the incident took place during a fire outbreak that occurred on Tuesday's evening at K&R Petroleum Nigeria Limited. The director, Kwara State Fire Service, Prince Falade John Olumuyiwa, expressed sadness over the incident and describes the people of Agodi area as very ungrateful for not appreciating the firemen's efforts. Now, before now, men of the Kwara Fire Service have been complaining of series of attacks on them by the people who are supposed to support them in carrying out their duties to urgently rescue life and property in any fire incident across Kwara State. This has happened over and over and over again and keeps happening. How does this sound to you, and really what would you say?
It's very sad, honestly, to be true, to be candid. It's sad, and it's highly unpatriotic of those hoodlums. What do they really want? There's a fire going on, you are not helping. Those who want to help, you start attacking them. This needs to be investigated, because the cause of the fire is still unknown. It could be arson. It could be arson. Now, if it is arson, then those who I hope security agencies can identify 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those hoodlums and make an example of them. We chide the government for abdicating their responsibilities. We, the citizens, also have our own responsibilities. It is a give and take thing. It's a two-way street. It is not all on government. Even we, the people, have our responsibilities, our duties as citizens. You cannot help people who are saddled with the responsibility of helping. You are still attacking them while they want to come and help. It is actually very sad and very uncivilized and unpatriotic. I denounce it in my strongest terms, because these young men that were attacked were on their legitimate duty. Now, when there's another incident somewhere or in that area again, they will have a rethink. They will have a rethink. Oh, why should I go there? Mr. A went there the last time and he came back injured. He came back maimed. Maybe he lost a arm or he lost a leg. If I go there now, maybe I'll lose my head. We are all humans, and safety is everybody's business. It's not just for the fire service. It's not just for the security man. It is everybody's business. So if you cannot help, why are you preventing those who want to help? Why are you harming them? I sincerely hope that the police and other security agencies can identify, and even the local community, because these hoodlums were not imported. Yes, they were not imported. They are people living within those areas, and they know them. Like the local parlance, they know them. They know them, they know their father's house, they know their mother's house, they know where they live, or where they know their hideouts. So they should be fished out, and they should be made an example. Things cannot continue to go on like this. It is foolhardy of us to continue to do the same things the same way and expect a different result.
Well, there have been reactions, and some of the opinion that it is possible that these attackers could be the real victims of the fire incident, and also they could be sympathizers. They could be sympathizers that were sympathizing with the people who lost things in the fire incident. And so what would you say about the possibility of them being sympathizers or being the real victims? And because I really feel that even if you are sympathizers or you are victims, they came at the time they could come. So what would you say about that thinking like that?
Two wrongs don't make a right. Two wrongs can never and will never make a right. So, what excuse do they have? It is absolutely untenable. Absolutely untenable. I will not stand for that. If I were in a position of authority, I'm going to fish out all of those hoodlums and make them to face the full wrath of the law. In fact, I will impress it on whoever is in charge of their case to expedite their cases, so that people will know that you don't do things like this. Now, the fire service, they may be late in getting there. There are so many factors that can account for that. I'm not removing human negligence on their part. But for you to go to the extent of attacking firefighters while the fire is still raging, it is foolhardy. That's just the truth. Now, they were able to control the fire. Supposing they were not able to control the fire and houses around that filling station got burnt, what would we be saying? Lives could be lost. And there's no amount of property that can equate a human life. So they should be fished out, and they should be made to face the full wrath of the law. As for the fire service, they should also improve. I know they are trying, but the truth of the matter is their best is still not enough. And we are Oliver Twist. I'm more dependently on Oliver Twist anyway, so we'll continue to ask for more. But I condemn in strongest terms the attack on the fire service officials. It is wrong.
Well, Ilorin generally has been known as a place of peace.
Yes.
Kwara State has been known for a long time as a state of harmony, and we can say that we've enjoyed that peace for a very long time. But we can still not look away from acts like this, which are counter peace and against what we've been known to be. What would be your message to the people of Ilorin at this point?
My message to all residents of Ilorin, Kwara State, and the country at large is that whenever there's a fire outbreak or any disaster whatsoever, please, if you cannot help, get out of the way. Then people should stop this act of attacking government officials, attacking government properties in a fit of fury. Fury does not solve anything. It rather destroys. There's a popular adage that says, fire is a good servant, but a very bad master. The same thing with anger. If you channel your anger in the right way, you can achieve so much. But if you allow it to go out of control, it will consume you. You, Gogon, that you are even expressing the anger, it will consume you. So why should they go and be attacking people who are legitimately doing their work? Now, from my knowledge of that axis, there's a road construction going on there, very close to that place. So normally, traffic will be obstructed. That's number one. And all these inner city roads, they are so narrow. And unless we want to deceive ourselves, the volume of traffic within Ilorin metropolis now has quadrupled. As against what obtains maybe 10 years ago.
Even 3 years ago.
So now, since we have more vehicular traffic, we have more human population. Definitely this will impede movement a bit. People should learn to have restraint, exercise restraint, learn to be patient, listen more, speak less. Even when you are angry, hold it in a bit more, just hold it in, because what you will destroy in a fit of anger in just 5 seconds, it can take you 50 years to repair it. And sometimes it can be irreparable. It can be irreparable. So why should they go and they should be fished out? That's my opinion anyway. I really want them to be made an example so that others will learn. Because for so long in this country, people just do anyhow and they get away with it. Both the government and the governed, the high and the low. You know, somebody will just come and do anyhow and get away with it because they feel we are in a lawless country. And it's unfortunate. Yet we have laws, potent laws, that if it is followed to the letter, it should act as a form of deterrent to others. So they should be made an example.
All right, thank you. I'd also love to say that for people who have made it a point of duty to always record videos first before they move for safety.
That's also condemnable. Highly condemnable.
Stop that at this point. I mean, something bad is really happening.
And then you just take out your phone and the first thing you do is just to be recording instead of offering help. It is absolutely wrong.
Thank you. Now, the last topic is on the reassurance by the President of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, to conduct a free and fair election come 2023. The President, Muhammadu Buhari, reassured that the 2023 general elections would be free, fair, and credible, saying manipulations would not be condoned. Buhari gave this assurance while hosting the West African Elders Forum pre-election mediation mission led by former Sierra Leonean President Dr. Ernest Bai Koroma at the State House, Abuja. The president cited off-season elections held in Anambra, Ekiti, and Osun states as pointers to the fact that the federal government would allow people to choose leaders they want. I'm concerned about the word allow, saying the federal government would allow the people. What would you say about that? Because it concerns me a little bit.
Yeah, it's how will I state it? Well, the president has stated his stance, and we hope he follows through. Let it not be like the other promises that they've made and they failed to deliver. I hope this one, and the people are becoming more aware now, so the window of opportunity for manipulation and rigging is getting smaller and smaller. It is shrinking by the day. That does not say that it has been totally eliminated. However, there are improvements in the off-season elections, I must admit. If you recall, the Osun State gubernatorial election, that just the latest one, is a departure from the previous one, off-season, because the previous one was declared inconclusive, and then a supplementary election was held, and we know the events that transpired on the day of the supplementary election. Don't let anybody gaslight us. We have people on ground there in Osun State who were giving live updates on what was happening. But for this one that was conducted this year, I would say kudos to INEC. They did a good job. However, that was an off-season election. So all of the resources of INEC and the Nigerian state was concentrated on a state. Now we're having a general election. Bar these off-season elections of Ondo, was it Ondo? Osun, Ekiti, and Anambra. Just 3 states out of 36 plus the FCT. Now we have 33 states plus the FCT. The resources of INEC will be stretched thin to breaking point. I sincerely hope that INEC would, as their name implies, would act independently. I sincerely hope their officials, both their main staff and the ad hoc staff, will be patriotic enough to allow the free will of the electorate to be reflected in the polls. But also, they should know that people are more aware now, and any form of manipulation whatsoever will be resisted.
I mean, we are already seeing that they released the electoral registers just a few weeks back.
And you can see the reactions of
people, pulling out underage registrations, in fact, triple registrations.
Thank you.
From these registers.
So
already.
People are becoming more aware. Though it is mostly concentrated in the cities, the rural areas are still yet to catch the bug of increased awareness. However, it will get there. It will. Trust me, it will get there.
All right, you can send in your messages and call in now on 09136556952. Call in on 09136556952 while the WhatsApp line has been open for a long time. Now, the Nigerian Interreligious Council on Tuesday dismissed fears in certain quarters that the 2023 elections may make or mar the country. In fact, some are still really skeptical about the fact that maybe it would hold or it will not hold. This is buttressing the promise of President Muhammadu Buhari, but the presidential candidate of African Action Congress, AAC, Omoyele Sowore. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, Dr. Zil from Cherry Schools.
Thank you so much, Dr. Zil. You have the floor.
Yeah, let me start with the training concerning the university lecturers and the new curriculum. For me, I don't see that training worthwhile if they are giving it to people who are recruited into university system and they are not supposed to be there. So they should give the training to only those that are supposed to be given the training, the right people. Because we have a lot of wrong people, so-called lecturers that are in the system. And most of the trainings have been like a waste, because at the end of the day, you will not see value for it. And then, are you with me?
Yeah, we're with you.
Yeah, duplication of courses is common in our university system. In fact, in all the curriculum, starting from the lower level to the highest level, you realize that people that are even forming the curriculum, they don't understand what curriculum is all about. And they don't know, and they don't put themselves there because of politics and whatever. And that is the problem. So lack of university organization and curriculum is the problem. And that is why most of this curriculum and training often does not show. And another thing is, intellectuals are not respected as supposed in Nigeria. Most times, intellectuals are the ones forcing it for them to be respected, and they need it. So leadership problem on that part. Then concerning the action, because I call that action, that fire that happened, and then the attack on the firefighters. You see, Nigerians everywhere, not just here in Kwara, can attack anything. If they even see God, maybe they want to attack God for no reason. Hello?
We're listening.
So I discovered that people just attack, and because of whatever they take, either drugs or some of the problems they themselves create for themselves. So Nigerians should always learns to reason on anything and be obedient and stop this unnecessary anger that has not helped us. And then they should be punished. In fact, they should be fished out. It's just that in Nigeria, we often use this, who is his father, then they will cover up. This time around, they should not cover anybody up. If we really want to get out of the problem we created for ourselves. Then concerning President Muhammadu
Thank you, Dr. Z. We have to let you go. Thank you so much. We have a message on WhatsApp and it says, good morning, Toby and Mr. Lawal in the building. Trust your night was awesome. Compliment of the season to you guys. Compliments to you to Mayor from Basin. I think your analyst has said a lot on the new courses added to our universities and polytechnic. For me, I think I'll reserve my comment till it finally materializes. But for those hoodlums attacking firefighters, for me personally, it's ridiculous. Illiteracy is at play and it's uncalled for me. The deed has been done already. Toby, please, is cutting off the head the antidote to a headache? I think this act of theirs should be investigated and they should be made to face the wrath of the law. Well, I do hope youths of these days wisen up, find the way forward. I'm sure if those hoodlums have their daily jobs, they will not have time to perform such illegal behaviors, because an adage says an idle mind is the devil's workshop. Kudos to you guys in the building and have a splendid and wonderful day ahead. God bless you guys and God bless Diamond 88.7 FM. Thank you so much, Mayor from Basin. Let's round up on this electoral topic. Elisha has come out to say that about 25% of Nigeria may not have about 25% of its landmass hold free and fair elections in 2023. What would you say on that and round up on all these topics?
How did they arrive at that? That's the first question. Then number two is, there's no absolute anywhere. This theory of absolutism is relative. So if 25% out of 100%, that's just 1/4 out of 3/4. If you are 4 in a room, 3 can form a quorum. Whatever decision is made is binding on all. So it's a challenge to the Nigerian state. But how he arrived at that figure, he still needs to explain. We shouldn't just bandy numbers here and there. But then, if that were to be true, that's a challenge for the Nigerian state. We don't have I personally don't have the resources. I'm not in government. I don't hold any position except from my pay job and so. But if 25 out of 100, 75 is good to go. What is key for me is it is bad that we have gotten to the point where we will now say government should allow. That's why I said INEC should live true to its name, or they should have a change of name. They should be independent in their thought processes and their operations. Then the people also don't just be more aware and become a armchair critic. Get your PVC, go out there, vote for whoever you feel represents your best interest, and stand there, defend your vote.
All right, thank you so much for joining us on today's edition of the Diamond Breakfast Show on Diamond 88.7 FM. It has been a great ride with Mr. Olarewaju Lawal in the house. Thank you for always being amazing on the show.
It's a pleasure to be here.
And thank you to all listeners. Thank you for your calls. Thank you for your messages. And thank you so much for everything. Stay tuned to Diamond 88.7 FM. And do not forget, as you go about your day, do not forget to be patriotic. Do not forget to shun all social vices. And please, your safety first. Wherever you are, if anything happens today, please don't remove your phone first. Safety should come first. I am TOBI ADEBISI. Have yourself an amazing day.
Diamond FM, radio made for you. Diamond FM, radio made for you.